Lost Legion Games and Comics in South Charleston, West Virginia. My name is Zach Evans. I'm joined now by, what were you, round 2 or round 3?
Round 3.
We just saw you on camera. Come on in. So I've got the draw-ins here with me. I've got Brett Rose and Alec Myers, both of them undefeated tonight and drawing into the top 4. Brett playing Esper tokens. Alec, haven't been on camera tonight, but I assume you're playing Junk No, are you playing Solar Flare or are you playing Junk Reanimate? Playing Solar Flare. So let's talk about this round 4 matchup. It is, in fact, the win and in round. We only have 18 people tonight because of some inclement weather. But we do have two titans of the gaming community. As we are going to see on the left, Max Turner. Max is playing the deck that you voted for him to play. Make sure you go to our website, ZachSellsMagic.com or Facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic and participate in the next one we have. I don't know when that will be, but if you like our page, you will get notifications. And you too can decide what deck Max plays for FNM. He's playing Rug Delver tonight. Snapcasters, Delvers, and Huntmaster of the Fells in a Rug deck with a million burn spells, counter spells, and card deck manipulation spells. He is playing none other than the local legend, Adam Vickers, who is playing Bug Control. Interesting tidbit, this was the deck that Garrett Meadows was going to play tonight, but then Max Turner was super late because of the roads, and so we started the tournament before Max got here, so Garrett had to loan Vickers his deck because Max was bringing Vickers' deck, we didn't have one, so Garrett ended up playing tokens, and then Max got here. It's a giant convoluted situation, but at the end of the day, it's Adam Vickers playing Bug Control versus Max Turner playing Rug Delver. I'm pretty sure that Adam is a huge favorite in this matchup, but I don't understand Magic, so there's a good chance that I'm wrong. Adam leads off.
Got the island in play.
As I look up the price of the Swords to Plowshares Judge promo, which is not on eBay yet, so we'll just have to wait and see on that one.
Is that the new promo or something?
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm surprised that some of the Judge promos aren't more expensive.
Just depends on their playability.
Yeah.
They've done pretty good in the past, in the last 6 months, of using the Judge promo program as a way of reprinting cards that wouldn't otherwise be reprintable, like Flusterstorm, since it's appeared in a Plane Chase or in a EDH deck and things like that.
These guys are trying to set some kind of record for playtime here.
You mean in terms of speed or taking the longest time?
In terms of speed.
Well, any records for fastest game played usually belong to the gentleman sitting to your left,
Oh, yeah.
which is Alec Myers, who has the fastest mechanics of anyone in the store. This is not a bad thing, but it is something we've noticed. Delver flips. Did you see what the Delver flipped on?
I did not.
Yeah, I wasn't paying that
I just saw the first pike get dissipated.
Well, why do we even have you guys in here if you're not going to pay attention? That, of course, is my phone, which is going crazy. Here's what happens every week is that I get like 50 emails because of people following us on our various forms of social media. So the pike sticks, right? 5 mana for a Thragtusk. Oh!
Nope. He'll blow up that
Acidic
second
Slime.
pike.
Acidic Slime takes out the pike. There's a Huntmaster.
Just out of curiosity, you know the 3-cost counter spell that mills 2?
Is it coming in Gatecrash?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not know that existed until you just told me, but I know now.
It's a blue and a black and a colorless, and you counter target spell, and then the owner mills 2.
Mm-hmm.
How you like it?
I don't.
Well,
I don't like it because it seems like you like it, and I just want to crush your dreams.
it hurt.
Is it 2 cost or 3 cost?
3.
So here's an interesting part. So Jace Memory Dip comes down. That's like a 5-turn clock. But what's interesting about this is that normally that'd be really good if Max had a pike on board. Although I know, because I know Max's deck list, because he posted it on Thursday, so that everyone who voted for it can see, there are only 2 pikes in that deck.
So he is all piked out.
Yeah, of course, he's using the +1, it looks like, to just draw 1, mill 1. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think he was just trying to use it as a cycle card, gain 5 life.
Gain 5, draw a card. Vicker's resolving a Evolving Wilds activation. Digging for, I guess, an island? Nope, forest. So, Vicker's playing Bug Control. Garrett showed it to me earlier. It has some Drown Yards in it, as you would expect. Has Garrick Relentless, has Jason Memory Adept, and then like Deathrite Shaman's Abrupt Decays, like all the cards you would expect, counter magic. And I think Thragtusk, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's Thragtusk.
So, Maxx flips his Huntmaster, drops Adam to 9. Now the Huntmaster is vulnerable to Abrupt Decay. But what's interesting about this deck, we've talked about it earlier tonight when Maxx was on, is that because of the way Max's deck is built, he can basically flip the Huntmaster like every turn.
Yep.
Like just back and forth and back and forth.
I think this is kind of a really bad spot for Adam since I don't think he doesn't really have any access to board wipes.
I'm going to think once in response to the lethal Pillar of Flame. He's just going to draw 2 cards. Because local legends are still allowed to cheat, apparently. And that was a quick one, but Maxx got there. I thought with the acidic slime on the pike, that was pretty good. Brad, interesting you came in here because I was keeping track for the recap post. Remember, there's a post on our Facebook's page after every week to remind you of all the things we talked about during the week. One of them is I called you 4 separate things incorrectly. I called you Brent.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the most common. I'm sure you've dealt with that since your childhood.
Yeah.
I called you Brad.
Childhood name?
I called you Brace at one point, and there was something else I called you. I can't remember. They're all just like I just said, well, and Brent goes down. And Brett goes down to. I just couldn't. I don't know. It's just not meant to be. But I could not remember what the other one was. I'll have to go back and listen to what it was.
In high school and now at my new job, Bert and Ernie has been following me. So now I've got Bert going. Just in case you want to work that in.
Bert. Well, I wasn't trying to work any of them in, but it happened nonetheless. Let's take a brief break while these gentlemen sideboard to tell you how you can help support the stream. We are down in numbers tonight because there are some other people streaming, and we did have the monumental crash during your feature match, actually, Brett. So we've lost the better part of half of our viewers. But if you want to help the stream out and you enjoy what you see, make sure you like, comment, follow, subscribe to us on all of our various forms of social media. Conveniently, easy-to-use buttons for doing just that are now located in the information section below the video window. So just click on those buttons to like our Facebook page, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And then obviously, if you are watching on Twitch, you know where that site is. But if you're watching on YouTube after the fact, check us out, twitch.tv/ZachSellsMagic. If you enjoy watching it recorded, imagine how much more you enjoy watching it live. You know, we've talked about this multiple times in the past. I am well aware that I'm trying to broadcast a Magic tournament to people who are predominantly, at this time of the week, playing in their own Magic tournaments. I understand the giant flaw that is in that. But I found it is very interesting that a lot of people have pointed out that, like, they can't necessarily go to a local FNM because they don't have one. Or they, they might miss a week for some reason. They will stay at home.
Inclement weather.
Tonight we do have some people who are watching because of inclement weather, but it's a demographic that we can reach and help. People seem to enjoy it. If I can have choppy video and only 18 people, and it's just me in here talking to myself, and still get 75 people to watch with some sort of dedication, then I think we're doing at least something, right?
Yeah. It's probably the camera angle.
Yeah.
I like the way Adam's shuffle is just a giant pile of cards.
Yeah, he starts with 6 piles, and by the end of it, it's just one giant pile. I mean, it's Adam Vickers. What can you do? He does whatever he wants. Has anyone stepped outside to see what the weather conditions are like?
I have not, myself.
Whenever I went and got Chinese right before the tournament, it was like just barely coming down with any snow. So
interesting.
So the game that Logan beat you, Brad, did he end up not drawing you by chance? Oh yeah, he did. You said you lost him turn 4, right?
Yeah. What did he do?
He had a Silverblade Pound. No, he had a Loxodon Smiter with a Rank Hornet paired with a Wolfear Silverheart.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Seems kind of nutty. I guess it could be better.
This is, I don't know if you can hear the, ambient noise that is Adam Vickers out there making a ton of noise. This is one of the drawbacks to having Adam Vickers on the feature match camera, because Adam knows he's on camera and does thing.
Makes the biggest scene in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, these two combined kind of make the biggest.
Well, they're very good. They're good and fast friends. Have been for a long time, so they play off each other. It is what it is. That's what they would say.
Yeah. I wonder if any of these people watching like play Magic Online and also have this up as a side, because I know there's a lot of downtime in that.
Yeah, especially during like drafts and things. It takes people forever to.
So there is Appetite for Brains, which just straight whiffs. I'm not sure why you would bring in Appetite for Brains as the only card in Maxx's 75 that it hits. Is 4 Huntmasters in the main and a Garrick Relentless out of the side. I have to be careful because I often say Garrett Relentless.
Yeah.
Well, Adam has brought in Psychic Spiral almost every single game he's played tonight against any deck, so...
Never flip.
There's another Delver. Delver does not flip.
It's gonna flip this turn. It says it's probably gonna flip this turn. Which would be very sad for Adam.
So, two people on the chat here have said that they're actively playing Magic Online while watching this. So that's actually really cool.
Yes, I do try to use. I figure the biggest thing that we can do as a stream is he planning on attacking with the Farseek? I mean, why is it?
It was still on the board.
Delver's missing on flipping both times. Now, obviously, Delver's not nearly as good without Ponder, but you still are playing a deck that has almost 30 spells in it, so...
And he could very well be playing Index.
He is not.
Nor is anybody else
Index
in the
is
world.
horrible.
1 mana discard card.
Yeah. Doesn't even put him in the graveyard like Faithless Living.
Like, it doesn't even let you shuffle, which shuffling would just legitimately be 1 mana discard a card, but they don't even go far enough to let you do that.
And the Thragtusk sticks. Isn't Charm at end of turn? Maxx is going to draw 2 and discard 2. But you do make a good point, Brett. I think the biggest advantage of our stream is the ability to...
Boom!
And the stomping of feet you hear is...
Flip and
Maxx.
burn for 2.
Yeah, he did that earlier tonight in a game against JB in which he flipped, bonfired for 5, and then won the game.
Redirected it to Sorin. And...
Well, he realized after he did that he didn't need to do that at all. He could have just killed JB outright, but...
So that's an 8 swing in life. That's pretty huge.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Maxx is in the position now where if Adam doesn't come up with answers for his Delvers, he doesn't have to... He can just race the Thragtusk. He doesn't have to worry about blocking or 2-for-1ing or something like that.
Yeah. Adam's not playing white, is he? He's just...
It's just
black.
Bug.
Yeah.
Just Bug. Yeah, and he does not have access to sweepers.
He also doesn't have access to a filter, as you can all hear. I guess the Mutilate isn't any good if you're not playing just mono black, is it?
Yeah. He only has like 4 swamps, maybe 6 swamps total.
Yeah.
Drown Yarding Maxx, using his mana as he has it available. Of course, the interesting thing about Drown Yard against the Pike deck is that it just makes it better.
The Pike gets that much bigger.
What life is Adam actually at?
He is at... Oh, why did it have 18? I think it was supposed to be 8 at one point, and then I misclicked. He's at 6. Ravings. Desperate Ravings, like, is the best draw spell that isn't, like, in this deck, the best draw spell is Thought Scour, but, ooh. Adam referring to the Snapcaster as Lauren Lee.
So is Adam's only out to Abrupt Decay one of the Delvers as the attack.
I don't know. Oh, that was all at the end of Adam's turn.
Yeah.
I really like Ravings in this deck.
Yeah, it seems pretty good.
Well, you can do it at instant speed, and you can
Oh,
Slip.
okay, he's going to 1.
go to 1. You do what you got to do to survive.
Oh. I heard the pin. That was pretty good.
Well, congratulations to Max Turner. He has taken, this is the 3rd week that we've done the Max Turner Needs a Deck promotion, in which the stream and Facebook fans get to choose what deck he plays. And 2 of those 3 weeks, Max has top 8'd. So with that win, Max moves to 3-1 and does make the top 8 of this 18-person tournament.
You want me to go look for somebody else?
Yeah, if you don't mind. Try to find somebody that we can slot over. I appreciate that very much. Brett, I'll bring it up again since we were talking about it. This is the Judge promo Swords to Plowshares. It's information like this that you can see posted on a regular basis on our Facebook page, so go to facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic for general... I basically use that website as a general magic content aggregator. Interesting stuff around the net shows up. So,
I do not like that artwork.
well, no one likes you, Brett, so you can go ahead and take a long walk off Short Cliff, and we'll get back to...
Like, I really like Chuck Norris plowing the field.
It does look like Chuck Norris, the old one. Just a quick reminder to everyone, Gatecrash pre-releases, if you're in Europe, they're already well underway, midnight pre-releases, and if you are local, definitely come down to Lost Legion tomorrow with pre-releases on Saturday and Sunday, both at 1 p.m. And if you are a fan of the stream, at the Sunday pre-release, we will be streaming that. So if you want to watch some fun sealed action, make sure you check us out. Make sure you follow us to the left and above the video window there on the Twitch screen. You'll get an email notification whenever that event goes live. I'm still trying to decide exactly how I want to do that. We might watch someone build their pool. There might be some interest in that. Or we might just wait until round 1 and fire it off. It is going to be fairly difficult because I'll have to learn all the cards between now and then.
Yeah, I remember last time we tried to do
Well,
that.
last time I did it on the draft, but that was because I got deathly sick during the and I missed the pre-release.
Yeah.
I think this time will be a little bit better, so I'm going to play in the pre-release on Saturday and then come back on Sunday for the stream. Did you find anybody?
Yeah, JB and Scotty are gonna...
Okay. Do you know what? Are they on game 2?
Yeah.
Do you know who won?
Scotty scooped, I believe, so JB.
So, we have bonus feature match, thanks to the diligent work of Alec Myers. We've got JB Roberts, who we saw earlier, the other half of the Token Twins, playing Esper tokens. Although his deck is a lot different than yours, Brett, because he is playing, like...
Entreat the Angels.
He's playing Entreat the Angels.
And Jace.
Yes, and he's playing also Sphinx's Revelation. I think that's the biggest difference.
The biggest difference is that his is a lot better than mine.
Well, you're having more success than he has, although I guess it's a matter of matchups as well. So Scotty, Wright, playing Bant, right?
Yeah, he's playing out.
Yep. And we assume JB won the first one?
Yeah. Hello? Full room.
We were tapped out. Hey, ask your brother if he won game 1 or if he lost. JB, thank you. All right. So, JB Roberts, Esper tokens, up a game on Scotty Wright's Bant control.
I'll switch out with you. I said I'll switch out with you in a minute. Oh, no, I don't care. Sounds like Logan made top 8.
In how many ways could this game be fantastic?
Infinitely.
All right, so here's one of the interesting things that happens in the broom closet. This is, in fact, we call it a broom closet because someone referred to it as a broom closet early in the days of the stream, and it caught on. But the broom closet is actually a storage room. And so there's just a random assortment of crap in here at various times. Brett just found a game. It's called Wasabi. Okay, this is a game. It looks like, well, they're going to be
$40.
They're going to be sideboarding for a while because Scotty is a master of the extended sideboard. So let's switch back over here to the. So Brett just found this game. Wasabi. It is retail price $40. What the heck is it? Did you even look at it?
No, I just... Did you ever play the Pokemon game?
No.
Oh.
He did. He plays Pokemon. You play, don't you play on the...
The N64 one, there was a...
Stadium, and there was a mini game where you're a lick-a-tongue and you have to eat.
Yeah, and you like ran around on fire sometimes. That's what I imagine this game's like.
In Wasabi, you and the other players are apprentice chefs competing to assemble your quota of unique sushi recipes in a rapidly dwindling space. Draw a variety of delicious ingredients into your hand from the pantry and play them one at a time onto the board, building off of others' previously placed ingredients in an attempt to complete recipes of varying difficulty. Completing a recipe earns you points towards winning and your choice of special actions from the kitchen to perform later, such as chop, stack, switch, spicy, and the dreaded wasabi. All of those action words are written in italics and have a exclamation point, which is wholly unnecessary. Have you ever played a game? This is a German game, and usually German games are pretty good. There's a game that my brother got for my wife and I for Christmas called, is it called like Tetsuo or Suro?
Yeah,
It's the one it's kind of like Shoots and Ladders meets but basically you have all these tiles that connect, and the idea is to connect your opponent's pass so that their little guy falls off the board. It's actually really fun.
Did he get you the old one or the new one?
I didn't know it existed until he got it to me, so I'm not sure I'm prepared to answer whether it's old or new.
Oh.
So let's go with
probably the new one.
Mm-hmm. Give a shout out to our boy Michael, who's watching from Florida. One of the few people who has won both a promo card giveaway and rock paper scissors card giveaway. That's because he's a dedicated Facebook fan and a stream follower. What are we talking about in the chat? Well, Scotty. Oh, surprise move! Scotty's still sideboarding. We could go over to main 10, get some takeout, come back over here, eat it, take a brief nap, drive home, go to sleep, come back tomorrow for the pre-release. Scotty's still sideboarding. Zing, zing, zing. Got him.
He's done sideboarding, actually. Now he's shuffling.
Now he's entered the shuffle mode.
It's another week and a half. I don't know if Scotty watches these anymore. I'm just giving him a hard time because I knew he could take it, but meanwhile JB's just over there reading a book. See, he went with the 7-pile shuffle, similar to Vicker's, but his actually looked like piles when he was done.
How do you like the Leia sleeves?
We actually talked about that earlier when he was on camera. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of those Star Wars sleeves. Of course, Star Wars uses the following marketing. Hey, what is that thing? Put Star Wars on it. Toilet paper? Star Wars toilet paper.
JB had some sleeves
diapers?
At one point.
Star Wars diapers.
He had some sleeves at one point that were Cersei Lannister before the show came out.
That is Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
I have not watched a single episode. Only because I don't have HBO, and it's on Netflix now, but it's on Netflix discs, so you have to wait forever.
I have them on the hard drive if you want me to bring them in.
Offline we will talk about this, because I really do want to watch that show, because it's one of those shows that, it's one of those things about, 1,000 people can't be wrong.
Yeah.
There's just too many people to say it's a good show for it not to be good.
The books are actually really, really good.
And I really like Peter Dinklage.
Huh?
He's the guy that plays, he's the little guy.
Oh, yeah.
And the actor's name is Peter Dinklage. JB also plays with the Darth Vader sleeves as well.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
He also plays with Mono Tap Land.
Yep. It's also I was playing a JB Wednesday night for Casual Commander, and I told JB something I hadn't realized. I don't think I've ever played a game of Commander with JB in which he was not mana screwed.
Yeah. We actually, JB and I played earlier, and we had a tapped land off. Each of us had three lands come in tapped in a row.
Well, JB did miss a land drop, but then he did find his third land on turn 4, so at least he's back in. And of course, Scotty's deck is not going to do anything proactively.
So about turn 5.
I mean, cast a Thragtusk.
And
Going to think once here in response.
maybe
Alec, did you notice that you were in fact this week's highlight of the week?
Yeah, I did notice.
It did, and that was the exact situation there where Scotty, in response to the draw assault captain, went ahead and thought once, knowing full well that not a single card in his deck he could cast. You, however, thought once and then ripped the exact negate you needed to kill a Jace Myriadev.
It could have been a syncopate for 1.
Either way, you hit
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
It wasn't so much that you hit the exact out you needed. It was the fact that you did draw something that interacted with the game. That is one of those frustrating things where it's like, oh, okay, this is a very interesting interaction.
Yeah.
Because if that had stuck, it's actually not that good against Scotty's deck since he is playing Supreme Verdicts.
What
But
was it?
it was a second Drogskull Captain, and Drogskull Captains grant other spirits hexproof. So 2 of them means that you can never target any of JB's creatures ever again.
Well,
Except for the angels off of
yeah.
Entreat.
Or the vampires. Have you seen his? Have you seen his tokens he's using?
Yeah, they're all brand new tokens, yeah.
They look really good.
I don't know what they are, but I've seen them from a distance, and they look pretty cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if some of the reasons that we're having low viewership tonight is because people have already left for their pre-releases.
That's very possible.
Yeah.
Because I know nobody's going to not watch if they're available. I mean, for God's sakes, it's me.
I have my computer at home with this loaded up.
When you're playing in the round, do you keep your phone off to the side watching the stream?
A little bit, yeah.
It is a good strategic thing to do if you're playing a future match.
Actually, I have 3 or 4 people telling me what my opponent has in hand, texting me. I'm not popular, just cheating.
And when you say friends, you mean people you've paid because someone likes you, right?
Yes.
Okay, I figured as much.
Completely accurate.
So Scotty has 1,000,000 mana and hasn't done anything with it, which is what most Bant control decks do. He has found both of his. Those 3 verdicts just as good. JB's not playing any counters in the main deck, right?
No.
I think he's playing some negates in the sideboard, but for reference, Scotty has found both of his black sources, which are in there for that Miller thing. Drown Yard.
Oh, Drown Yard.
Yep. Another Dissipate takes out Sorin. We've watched JB have Sorin's countered all over the place tonight. I think he cast 5 Sorins in this match against Maxx, which was 3 games, and 4 of them were countered.
He cast one against Logan, and Logan countered it even.
Oh, I was sitting here thinking...
Logan doesn't have counter spells, does he?
I know, I was...
Oh, I was very confused. Augur of Volus looking for,
That's pretty good.
That's one of the most depressing things in the world. It's like seeing, I'm not casting it yet, I'm just telling you that I'm going to cast it.
It's in my hand. It's going to happen.
Tonight we have bitched... Oh, that's the 3rd time I've cussed on this stupid stream. Twice tonight, actually. We have whined multiple times tonight, and when I say we, I mean me exclusively, about how Miracle is awful. We've seen many a Miracle bonfire tonight.
Yeah.
Miracles are a little bit silly.
Maxx cast 3 bonfires in one game.
All Miracle?
One of them was... No, one was Miracle, one was Hardcast, and one was Snapback.
I heard the Snapcast one was like Snap for 2.
Well, each time they wipe the board.
Yeah.
Because JB's whole deck is 2/2. So J sticks. We see a mini factor fiction. JB's taking the
Land and D-Sphere.
Yeah, because Hardcast Entreat. I think I would have put the D-Sphere over the Entreat because JB's Entreat at this point is for 1.
Yeah, and he's stuck on lands. Or he's not necessarily stuck, but he hasn't played a land in multiple turns.
Yeah, I would have put the Entreat in the land versus the... Or I would have put the... Yeah, he's going to take whatever pile has the land in it, I figure. Scotty going to gain 4 and draw 4 off of the Sphinx's Revelation.
That card.
Which reminds... There was a Sphinx's Revelation for $10 in the case that was foil, right after it came out. And I thought about buying it for my cube. And I just never got around to it because I'm a cheapskate.
Now what's that?
40 maybe.
Is it still 25 normal?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's holding pretty strong.
It's a pretty good card.
I think it's also because a lot of vendors have a lot sunk into it, so they have to sell them at 25 to to make it profitable.
I think it's going to be a lot like Bonfire. It's going to see a whole bunch of play to begin with, and then eventually one day it's just going to drop.
Yeah, well, Bonfire eventually came back too, and
is
now
it back
everybody's
up?
using it again.
Bonfire's up to 30 now. I mean, it's not the 50 it was.
Yeah.
I worked at PTQ in Columbus for a friend of mine, or at least an associate who was running a booth that week, and we were buying them for 36 at the PTQ.
Oh wow.
Dealer buy 30 because they're selling them for 50.
Yeah.
And they couldn't sell enough of them.
What was whenever Phyrexian Mana was still in? What was that card that just sold out at the Grand Prix? The Hurricane Effect.
Oh, Corrosive Gale.
Corrosive Gale, yeah.
That was kind of a surprise.
Well, that was the answer in the Delver mirror.
Yeah.
JB says, I'm going to have a Sphinx's Revelation as well. JB's, of course, is foil. You know what one of the biggest aspects about being the shop manager is? One of the biggest pros?
Get all the cards.
You have access to all the cool cards. And you do get the first right. JB's personal collection is pretty tremendous because JB basically has an EDH, a commander collection, so he has one of everything.
Yeah.
And they're mostly foil. So this is a hard cast and Treat the Angels, which looks like for 2, correct?
Yeah.
And we see 2 more of the tokens JB has made. End of turn Drown Yard. So Scotty's going to try his darndest to win this game via mill. It's going to be very hard for him to win a damage race, I think. Rest in peace.
That actually, 3 of his dissipates are in the board. What other is? Assumably he's running a syncopate or 2.
Is Rest in Peace a main deck card? Because I know a lot of these.
He decided not to make board.
Okay, because I know like Reed Duke invented this deck and like everybody copied him. He played one main deck at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
D-Sphere on both the Angel tokens, and get in there for 1 with the Augur Bolus.
Why don't the Angel tokens go under the Detention Sphere?
Because they're tokens. And when they are exiled, they cease to exist.
No, it's not even very good.
Kind of like your street cred, Brett.
No.
Burn. Detention Sphere.
His
Targeting?
Detention Sphere?
You can't target Detention Sphere.
No.
What do you target here?
I have to assume he's doing Rest in Peace. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'd assume that's why he milled him in response to.
Sure.
Probably has a lingering source.
I was going to ask, the reason I asked if it was a main deck card is Rest in Peace any good in this matchup?
It's actually pretty decent because Scotty can't buy his deck back with the...
No, but I mean,
As Scotty
played it.
Yeah.
Right.
So what is he trying to keep JB off of? The back half of Lingering
That's
Souls?
the only thing I can think of.
Is 1 slot good versus those? It seems very narrow today.
Yeah, I don't believe I would have put it in, but it's not... I think it hurt Scotty more than it actually hurt JB.
Because Scotty can't like cycle his deck repeatedly with a...
Well, it's all D-Spheres all the time. Now all we need is Imperial Armor, or Ethereal Armor, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty great when you have to D-Sphere and
End of
Augur
turn
almost.
mill, nabs a Tameo.
So everyone I've asked tonight does not have a Tameo for trade.
You didn't ask me.
Do you have a Tameo for trade?
I don't even know what a Tameo.
During.
But to be fair, you did not ask him. That's correct.
I can assure you that if I had one, I would not trade it to you.
We see an end of turn Farseek as Scotty does have access to Alchemist Refuge now, so he can cast all of his spells at the end of JB's turn.
That's always such an annoying stage of the game. Like you never.
Every part of the game against Bant control is an annoying stage of the game.
Yeah, that's
The only parts that are annoying are every turn, both on your turn. Now it's just that it's annoying both on your turn and their turn.
Especially whenever you have lethal on board and they just happen to have 7 mana up with the Alchemist Refuge.
I think it's funny that Wizards R&D has gone on record as saying that they're trying very hard to make the creatures matter again, so that the games don't slog down like this. And then they keep printing cards like Thragtusk and Sphinx's Revelation, where Thragtusk is a creature and it definitely matters, but it just makes the rest of the game like silly.
Bogged down.
Yeah.
I think they did a lot of good for red deck wins and anything playing red.
Oh, I think the metagame with the new cards coming out will be very balanced. I'm very curious to see if there's a legitimate mill deck. I mean, mill is usually not a viable archetype because they're just a critical mass of cards away.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know, between Psychic Spiral and that Mind Grind, and is that what's called, Mind Grind?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the memory.
I like that card a lot.
Where you
Funeral effect?
you mill until they get 4 lands.
Well, it's
X
however
lands.
many X, yeah.
Oh, it's an X spell.
Yeah.
I mean, that just wins the game in a lot of decks.
Especially like against Scotty right now, he probably would only have to mind grind for 1, and then Scotty would probably just be dead.
I have a question for you, Brett. Do you have an extra Keening Stone?
Keening Stone?
Uh-huh. You're the only one I know who has one. Do you have an extra one?
I probably don't, but I'm sure Zach does, because he had
Yeah,
a
okay.
4 at one point, yeah.
building my Mimeoplasm EDH deck, and I would like to put one in there.
Logan just made a Mimeoplasm EH deck. Like, while we were sitting here.
I've been for months. I've just been a stack of cards at home, and I just haven't, because it overlaps cards, so I've had to take out other cards to make it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, what did he just... Oh,
He played it's a Ray of Revelation, and it is exiled because as it resolves, the Rest in Peace comes back into play, and so when it leaves the stack, Rest in Peace is in play.
Surprised he didn't at least get his Augur back first to avoid that from happening.
Well, that's because he made a mistake. You should needle him about it endlessly.
Yeah, he's my
Hey,
right
Scotty,
arm, so.
nice game day championship mat. It looks so nice when you make misplays on it.
Jonathan told me that's actually his, so Scotty didn't even earn that.
Typical Scotty.
Scotty has a duplicate of the mat that I was playing with earlier.
Yeah, he won the game day he won the other game day that you won.
Yeah.
I will never have a game day mat because I'll have to play Standard before so I can win one. Do they ever have Legacy game day?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Or what about My Cube Draft game day?
We can make one of those.
Four pack sealed game day?
We have
what is it?
Dispel. Dispel taking out Midnight Haunting. There's another Midnight Haunting. Scotty has 2 Terminuses in his hand.
Does he?
Yep.
Ew.
This game's over. Like, JB has like 3 cards in his deck. Now the question becomes, can either of these guys win in the 10 minutes that remain in round number 4? This, of course, is the last round before the top 8. Or the top 4. I don't know how many people make the top of this. Because there's like 7 people out there tonight. Because the roads are crap.
Oh.
You know the toughest part of anywhere I go when it snows is getting out of my driveway. You've been to my house. Both of you guys have.
Yeah.
You know my driveway is like, not the steepest in the world, but it's kind of at an angle.
It's like the second steepest. Yeah.
Yeah, so what happens is I back out of my driveway and then almost run into my mailbox, which is housed in a brick, pillar down at the bottom of my street. And that's the end of the game. JB just could not force through enough damage early. Scotty stabilized and then drew about 7,000 cards off Sphinx's Revelation and eventually milled JB out with Drown Yard. Wait, the game is still going on.
Yeah, he hasn't scooped yet.
I'm the worst. I'm literally the worst person alive.
I imagine that Scotty actually put it in case, like, JB put in an elixir or something. He doesn't want him to be able to not be milled out.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's what I have for it.
Brett, Cliff, I spoke preemptively, but that's exactly what happened. Brett Cliff Markham, another player we've seen on the stream before, in a chat saying that he will gladly trade you a Tameo tomorrow if you're going to be at the pre-release.
I actually saw that. I posted it on his Facebook here just a second ago. So.
But to be fair, what you posted on his Facebook was just a cool video of some cats, right?
Yeah, it was.
Has anyone seen, have we already talked about it? Have we talked about the YouTube clip of the parrot that sings? Brett, you saw it, right?
It's the scariest thing in the world.
So there's a video. I never use Facebook that much for my own purposes, but I did post a link today for what may be, I hate hyperbole. You know how I hate hyperbole. But it may be the greatest viral video I've ever seen. It is a video of someone's parrot singing the song Bodies by Drowning Pool. You know, the one with the let the bodies go.
Yeah.
The parrot is singing this, like verbatim. And it's doing all the whispering and the growling and everything. I will post the link in our recap post. Recap post goes up the day after the event every week, highlighting all the things we talk about in the stream. Facebook.com/ZachSalesMagic.
Well, I'm going to bid you guys adieu.
All right, Alec.
Pre-sideboard for my game.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck to you in the top whatever.
Are they just playing a game for fun here? Or?
Game 3.
Oh, game 3?
See you guys.
Yep. So, as Alex steps out, we move to game 3 here. Yeah, JB had won the game 1 that was off camera. And then we... Yeah, so in the chat, Spike Mo talking about there's another one of a parrot that does dubstep. I have seen that one, and it is fun, but not nearly as cool as because the dubstep one is just sounds, but the Drowning Pool one he's saying the words.
How can you make those noises?
What, the parrot?
Yeah, the dubstep noises.
Well, a parrot can. Parrots and computers are the only 2 things that can sound like dubstep. So Jace, Architect of Thought, gets taken out by a negate, and then Scotty thinks once at the end of JB's turn. JB does have a favorable wins in play. But I see in Scotty's hand, I see a Terminus, and there's another negate. Scotty moving pretty quickly because he knows if he wants to win this game, he has got to get to work. It'll be interesting to see if Scotty even has his Thragtusk still in the deck. I don't think we saw any of them last game.
No. Why would you even put him in? I mean, JB's either going to swing for 1 billion damage or...
Well, I like them in the main deck because they're so good against so many archetypes, but...
So, I'm trying to put together Esper Mill for...
Post-rotation?
Yeah, post-rotation. I'll probably put together red deck wins to begin with, and then slowly obtain the stuff for Esper Mill. I've actually got most of it. I just need to figure out, I guess, the basic archetype, whether I want to rebirth the... I keep forgetting his name. The Mind Funeral dude on a stick, where whenever you cast a spell...
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. I'm very excited about a lot of those cards, the Dimir cards with
Cypher?
The milling ability.
Yeah.
Because for commander purposes, there's a lot of them that mill all of your opponents, and if you play anything that, reanimator styles, that cards like Animate Dead and Rise from the Grave, they target any creature in any graveyard, so.
Yeah.
So JB's stuck a Sorin, Lord of Innistrad, but Scotty's got a Restoration Angel that's going to keep it honest. Got one Vampire out of it so far. But the Vampire does not fly, so it cannot chump out. Detention Sphere.
Solves the problem.
Think once. I think he drew a Temple Garden. We talked about this earlier in the evening, but, most players know this already, but for any novice players that are not as familiar, the way O-Ring and Detention Sphere work is that the trigger that actually exiles the permanent is a come into play effect. So you can respond both to the spell being cast and to the trigger on the stack. So
you could in theory stifle it.
Yes, you also don't have to announce your target when you cast the D-Sphere.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to decide. There is an also interesting play where, with Oblivion Ring, where they can cast it, and in response to them casting it, you bounce or kill or do whatever to the permanent you have that they are inevitably targeting. Then once it's gone, they have to target one of their own permanents. I don't know why I got lost in that diatribe, but it is an interesting interaction. We see JB going nuts with Sorin here, but Scotty is going to gain 6 and draw 6, back up to 21. Or 121. It's very frustrating because JB has like a fairly dominant board state, but does not have... all the cards he has in play have no synergy. He has Vampire tokens which don't get pumped by the Lord or by favorable wins. And Scotty lands a Pithy Needle, no doubt naming Sorin, Lord of Innistrad.
Did you notice the O-Ring conversation earlier whenever I was playing last round?
Yes, the question was if the creature comes out from under an O-Ring, does it have summoning sickness or not? And the answer is yes.
Yeah. His idea was that it wasn't summoned, so it doesn't have summoning sickness.
Right.
But that's not actually a keyword.
Yeah, summoning sickness is a bad term for it.
Yeah.
It was summoning sickness was a term that came about when Magic was Magic was in its infancy, and 95% of the ways that you could bring a creature into play was summoning them.
Oh, JB just put that Diregraph Captain in the graveyard.
It is removed.
He caught it.
Yep. That would likely have no effect on things. So, but we could go out there and remind them at some points. Should it matter?
They moved it, so we're good.
Mm-hmm. With the Pithy Needle gone, Sorin is live again. Do you know how many counters Soren's on? Looks like 4, right?
Yeah, assumably if he just puts a...
Scotty has assembled his drone yard, so
Oh, and he got
he has a win condition. Yeah, he has an overgrown too.
No, I mean, JB got a intangible virtue, so we'll be gaining some life here.
He is indeed. Now the biggest problem for Scotty is the clock. Of course, in this match, I just realized that Scotty's pared down, so JB could potentially scoop to Scotty. But there is a point in this where I think 2-2 might actually make the top 8 because of the number of people that are here.
Yeah.
So making a token, thinking once. He's going to take the 3. JB's going to gain 3, but Scotty did draw a detention sphere off of that think twice. So those tokens are going to go the way of the buffalo. Or do you detention sphere the Soren?
The tokens are going to be out there putting the beat. Well, I guess
he has a terminus in his hand. He can do both.
Yeah. Probably doing both. That seems like a good play.
I terminus first. Oh, I did have the clock wrong. They're saying it's 5 minutes. So a little bit more time for Scotty. I think I cast the
Sphere.
I think I would cast the terminus first, and then if JB had countered the terminus, then I could de-sphere the tokens.
Or just drown him.
Is JB not attacking for some reason?
You would assume he would, since there's no downside to it.
Why is he not attacking? I missed something here. I don't know if it matters necessarily, but he should be attacking, right?
You would think so.
Another virtue, so those are 3/3 life-linking vampires.
Are all 3 of those spheres Scotty's?
No. JB has one on Pithing Needle.
Okay.
But double Drown Yard's going to be tough to beat at this stage of the game. This guy just Terminus at this point, right? Now that he has enough to Terminus and double Drown Yard. Yeah, this game's over.
It's all over but the crying.
Yeah, there's nothing JB can do, I don't think, at this point.
Flashback the Lingering Souls.
I don't know, like...
Well, that's not bad.
And Dispel takes care of Midnight Haunting. And the milling continues. There is a flashback, there is a Lingering Souls there.
Was it an alternate art one?
Yeah, the promo. About these, you know what this tokens deck really wishes it had is White Sun Zenith.
Yeah.
Because that way you could end of turn make 2 or 3 guys.
As a one of, and...
Because it is an instant.
I still feel kind of silly for not playing it in my junked one that I ran there at the end.
Well, it does cost 3 white.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's very tough. Very tough to cast in a format that did not have Shocklands. Supreme Verdict takes out the back half of the Lingering Souls. Question in the chat about how Maxx is doing. Of course, Maxx playing the Rug Delver deck that the stream chose for him this week during our promotion. Maxx is 3-1. He made the top 8. He lost to a mill deck and then beat tokens, bug control, and something I can't remember. There's Jace Memory Adept. 0 should be good enough, right? And it is, in fact, enough. So, the menace that is Mill, taking care of JB's Esper token. So Scotty Wright moves to 3-1. He's into the top 8. We've also got Alec Myers and Brett, who's sitting in here as well, into the top 8. So we've got Solar Flare, Bant Control, and Esper tokens making up part of it. We've got Max Turner's Rug Delver in the top 8 as well.
Who's playing Solar Flare?
Alec is.
Oh, that's right. You all said that earlier.
Yeah. Jonathan Wright won, so his Grixis Control list also in the top 8. And then it's the winner of Logan Cutlip and Steven Hager. That looks well. Actually, both those guys will probably make it in. So
half of the tournament.
The top half of the tournament. So you're debating coming to the pre-release tomorrow, Brett?
Yeah, I'm kind of being a baby about it.
Just for time-wise, or just don't want to play the sealed format, or?
No, I want to play in sealed.
It's got other commitments?
Yeah.
It's no big deal. You don't have to explain it to me. I was just curious about what we've been talking all night. We are very close to moving to the top 8 here, so we'll try and get in a little bit of random nonsense. This, of course, is Brett Rose. My name is Zach Aree. And this gives me, I always have this field labeled for Twitter, and I never get to use it, but this time I do. Because I tell the story all the time about how your Twitter address is @ZachVillianco, and @ZachVillianco is an actual person who also plays here, who is not, he's just like WB Law or something like that. But we're talking all night, and everyone in the chat, feel free to chime in about, you're going to your pre-release tomorrow, or some people could have potentially already been to their midnight pre-release and come back in the, overseas in Asia or Europe. But what guild are you leaning to?
Demir.
Demir?
Or Orzhov. I like the guy that comes with Demir, so I'm probably going to be playing.
Yeah, that's probably the best promo card. I don't know what that is. I don't. Do you remember what the name of that thing is?
No, he's the memory funeral guy that I just keep forgetting the name of.
What is his name? Does anyone in the chat know the name of the Demir?
Jeffrey.
It's not Jeffrey. What is his name? So in the chat we've got. What do we got?
Gruul, Simic, Gruul.
Consuming Aberration. That's the name of the card you're thinking about, Brett. And I've just moved my screen around like a total moron, but that's to be expected out of me. Consuming Aberration. We'll bring that up here short. Come on. It has the cards in here. Alright, here we go.
Two B's.
I just can't spell worth a poop. What?
Off-centered.
Don't know what's going on there, folks. Give me just a second as we, hold on, we'll switch back to this camera. Bring it up this way. There he is. Consuming Aberration. He is an XX45. His power and toughness equal to the number of cards in your opponent's graveyards. That's why I'm very excited about him for Commander, because, you know, you're playing a 4-player game, you should have 10 cards in graveyards, so 40-40. Whenever you cast a spell, each opponent reveals cards from the top of his or her library until he or she reveals a land card, then puts those cards into his or her graveyard. So by the time you cast him, he's going to be at worst probably like a 2-2 or 3-3, but really can get out of control. It really puts a detriment on your opponent's playing any spells because it just makes him grow bigger.
It's only when you cast a spell.
Alright, so I don't know how to read this, so it's going to be very exciting on Sunday as I try to commentate a sealed pre-release event that I cannot, that I don't know all the cards to. So, anything else? I was interested in playing Gruul.
Their mechanic is fun.
Yeah, because of the mechanic. We talked about it earlier, so if you were watching earlier, this is redundant, so I apologize for that. But the thing with Gruul is pretty cool. Is like in a sealed format, the games go long. Sometimes it is as simple as who has the bigger guy. But more importantly, the Blood Rush mechanic allows your top decks in the late game to be relevant. You draw a 2-power guy on turn 2, you play him, that's fine, it's on curve, it's a good early pressure. You draw him on turn 15 when the board's clogged up, he's not very good. But the fact that you can draw him, he turns into a combat trick, you can force through the last bit of damage. Some of the Blood Rush guys give trample or first strike or whatever, so it's basically just all of your dudes are combat tricks, and in a format like, limited format like Sealed, I think it's pretty strong. So I'm probably going to go that way. I would normally play Boros, like thematically, my guild is Boros, but we talked about it earlier, like aggro is so hard to build and Sealed because like you're really at the mercy of like whatever kind of critical mass of like really aggressive guys you get. So if your deck just doesn't have that kind of curve, like...
Yeah. Are there any fog effects?
In the new sets?
Yeah, in Gatecrash.
I don't know. I really don't know. I really do want to play... I would really like to play Simic. I think if I wasn't playing Gruul, I'd play Simic.
Because of the alternate win conditions?
No. Just because of the evolve ability is very strong. The promo guy is pretty good with him. And if you ever open up that Master Biomancer, Master, whatever he is, like that guy's so good.
He's the one who doubles? Or?
Yeah, he gets +2/+2. He has 2 +1/+1 counters on all the creatures that come into play.
Ah.
Well, it's +1/+1 counters equal to his power, and he's a 2/4 base.
And he has evolved, doesn't he?
I don't think he has evolved. I think, because not all the Simic creatures have evolved, but they all interact in some way with +1/+1 counters. So he should be pretty good too. It'll be interesting to see. We did a poll on the Facebook page. Again, the Facebook page is facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic. What are you doing?
Speaking.
Okay.
They're calling top 8.
Yep. So get out there, jam it in there. But I did a poll on the Facebook page of what everyone was choosing this weekend, and it was a dead heat across all 5 of them.
Really?
Like 50 people voted, and it was 10 apiece. So they're going out there for the top 8. I'm going to step outside and see exactly who we're going to get on camera. We have some interesting decks, and I think they're going to play a fair amount of it because it is pretty early tonight, just 10 o'clock. So we'll see who's in it, and then go from there.
Do you want that?
Yeah,